Good afternoon. This is Hope Roski with the Wedding Show. Well, I hope you've all been staying dry out there because it's been pouring down, at least where I live. Anyway, today we are going to brighten your day because this weekend is the Fig Garden Women's Club Antique and Vintage Show. And with us today, we have the chairman of this event, Kim Gold, with us. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
Glad you're here, and I'm hoping that you can tell us a little bit about what the Antique and Vintage Show is all about.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's our 48th annual Antique and Vintage Sale, and we'll have 15 vetted dealers, and it's a really nice thing that we do every year, and it's in our 102-year-old clubhouse.
102 years old. Now that says something.
Yes, and we belong to the National Federations of Women's Clubs, and so we raise money for some local charities and scholarships that we support.
So basically, when people come in, they pay a $5 fee. We had discussed that before, and they can come in the entire weekend, which is fantastic. I mean, just imagine $5 for an entire weekend. And so that money goes towards those scholarships then to help out those students who are in the nursing program, correct?
At Fresno C.
Correct. And then there are other local charities that the money goes directly to as well.
Yes, and we have those listed at the venue.
That's great, because that philanthropy that, you know, people want to do something. Hey, this is a great way to go in and maybe get out, you know, who knows what the weather's going to be like, but really see some beautiful things. So you talked about 15 vendors this year. Can you tell us a little bit about those vendors?
Well, we'll have a nice variety. The other chairperson is a dealer, so she is very careful about who she chooses, and we also have a waiting list. It's a very popular antique show because the ladies treat the dealers very personally and very nice, and it's nice and small and neighborhood type of a thing, and it's the only one in Central Valley right now, the antique show. So it's really special, and it's a great way for people to come and spend some time. We have lunches available and different things like that give girlfriends and families some time to spend together and shop for some treasures. But we'll be
No, good. So keep going.
Well, we'll be having an Asian dealer. Her name is Sunya. We'll have Smalls dealer. That's like little statues or pieces that you can pretty much carry. Glassware, dishes, things like that.
Look at this little guy. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Hey, and I like this guy because he's Western. And for those of you who like Western, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, male, female, people love Western.
Yes.
So yeehaw, there you go. What else? What else do you have coming down?
Yes. Well, there was an auction recently up north, and the Western things were just on fire. So
wow, that's
we've got
great.
a Zane Grey set of books.
Ooh.
And we have a little poster print right here, and we have our bronze, and so we're kind of working with the vibe.
Well, Zane Grey is somebody I'm familiar with because I lived in Arizona for so many years, and that's where good old Zane Grey was from, and I got to view his cabin, so that's great. So you have a lot of pieces of history right there. So you also have segments where you have speakers come in. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. We'll have free classes with your paid donation, and we ask for a donation because we're a nonprofit.
So if people want to add to the $5 contribution, you're welcome to do that because remember, you're helping a great cause.
Right, and it's 3 days. We also have really beautiful flower arrangements donated by local florists, and at 3 o'clock on Sunday, we auction those. And it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful
that
antique
sounds
show.
Yes, absolutely.
But do you want me to
No, so I was going to also ask you too, like some of your antiques, as you were talking about them, like, you know, what makes an antique an antique? Like, what is the age range? I guess you could say.
The legal language for an antique is 100 years old. To be able to bring it across international lines and some, you know, legalities, it's 100 years, which isn't very long now. I mean, that's 1922 or 23. And so, you know, that covers a lot of things now. Vintage is around 50 and back. Collectible is 50 forward. And so collectible can be something made right now, but if people want to buy it, than it's
Okay,
collectible.
so not only is it antique vintage, but it's also collectibles.
Yes.
So if people are collecting a certain type of crystal or things to that effect, this would be a great place to go check out. Well, that's good to know. So one of the things that we talked about was the replicas. You know, people look at, well, is this a replica or is this real? Can you tell us the difference between the two? How do you know?
Well, there's lots of resources to look up marks.
Okay.
For example, silver is marked a certain way in Europe and London especially. In the United States, it'll say sterling on it, but it has little hallmarks, little pictures in European, for European silver.
Interesting.
But the best way to tell is if you can see a little mark on the back. That's why if you're in an antique store and you see everyone tipping everything upside down, they're looking for that. And you can a lot of times tell by the craftsmanship, because let's face it, these days most things aren't as nice as they were back then. And so this will, on the back, it will have a mark. And then there's books you can look at. The internet is a great source. You can look it up. And eBay, you can just type it in and you'll see what it could be. Yeah, so always look on the back for a mark. And most nice things, like this was from the 1800s, it has a little mark on the bottom as well.
Interesting. So it has it has like a little almost picture stamp, if you will. And
Many things will. If it's really,
good to
really
know.
old, sometimes they won't. And so it's an art. You kind of learn about it and to get the feel of it. But yeah, a lot of things that are real aren't marked. And so you kind of just have to be careful. Know your dealer. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. And one of the things about learning we were talking about were the free classes that you were offering. So who are some of the people that are coming for that special event?
Well, on Friday at 3 o'clock, we'll be having Jackie Shore from Chesterfield's Antiques. She'll be doing a class, Decorating with Yesterday for Today. And her aesthetic is fantastic. If you've ever been in Chesterfield, she's amazing. And she'll be showing vignettes and explaining some things. On Saturday, we have McKenna Gould from Alden Anders Design. She's an ASID interior designer. She'll be doing feng shui, which is the energy of a home. And then at 4 o'clock on Saturday, we'll be having Suzanne Crosina-Sam.
Oh, fantastic.
From My Bella Festa. And she will be setting a pretty spring table. And she uses vintage china. So,
oh, wow. That's terrific. So, you know, you were mentioning, too, if people are hungry and thirsty, they can actually eat and drink and shop, because most places they won't let you do that. So, you know, bring your appetite, because what type of things do they offer there?
Well, ladies from the club, I think there was a picture, and they have pies, they have sandwiches. It's all made by them, and I think pasta and different salads that you can choose from. And it's all on a nice little table. It'll have flowers in the middle, and it's just a nice little way to spend some time, you know, kind of relax and do something different.
Well, that's great. So tell me about the Women's Club actually has a vendors section there as well. So what makes yours stand out? Why is your vendor section different than the rest of the dealers that are there?
Well, the main thing is ours are all dealer donated. Everything here is donated, not dealer donated. Dealers do donate to us.
Okay, they do. They do. I know. I've been.
But because our dealers love us, they want to come back. But these are from our members, and so basically it's 100% profit. So our prices can be pretty competitive because we don't have to, you know, pay our bills, keep our lights on, you know, for that. So there's a huge variety of things where a lot of dealers, you know, specialize to some degree. But I've got sewing boxes, I've got bronzes, we'll have tea sets, we'll have china, we've got vases. The sky's the limit.
So yours is going to be very eclectic,
yes, very
maybe
eclectic.
In comparison to the rest,
Yes,
which
I
is
think
great.
so.
And then it goes to the Women's Club to help those organizations and to help the club out as well, which is fantastic. Can you give us the dates of, you know, the location? And I know we have a picture of that beautiful building up there too. And so let's take a look at our pictures there, and then maybe you could tell us a little bit about the location and all of the dates.
Okay.
Is it this one?
One back, the Christmas. We're We're located on Christmas Tree Lane at 4550 North Van Ness Boulevard. And here's a look at our inside of our clubhouse. And it's a gorgeous clubhouse. We're very lucky. Many Valley women's clubs don't have a clubhouse.
Wow.
And so we're very, very lucky. And we love our clubhouse, and it loves us back.
Oh, I see some of the pies right there. Yes.
Some of the ladies that make the lunches.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes. You never see me in there. I don't know. Here's our building during Christmas time. We make it very festive, and we really enjoy our time there.
And then again,
have fun.
And then it's this weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, from when to when?
From 10 to 6, Friday and Saturday.
And then Sunday, different hours, correct?
11 to 3.
Okay, so come out, join Fig Garden Women's Club as they hold their annual antique, vintage, and collectible show this weekend. So please take some time to come out there, and we will be back in just a few moments with Kim Gould again when she's going to talk to us a little bit about having a bridal tea. We'll see you back in just a few.
And you're out.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Hope I didn't get too off.